Society's always telling women, know your worth, know your worth, know your worth. But we act like men aren't supposed to know their worth. And people take issue when a man knows his worth. Men should know their worth just as much as a woman. You have to understand you have value here. You are just as important to this relationship as she is. So just as you need to give to her, she needs to give to you. It's a two-way street. And I think more importantly, you have to get to a point where you are not afraid if she walks away from you.
Yeah,
the reality is that men, especially good men, get caught up in the fear of losing her, that they do everything in their power to keep her, not realizing that now, rather than losing her, you're losing yourself.
I remember growing up, there was only 1 or 2 chicks in my school that was ratchet. 1 or 2 chicks that was sexually active. 1 or 2 chicks that messed around and got pregnant. Now that's the norm. But ain't nobody supposed to say nothing about it. Now that's the norm. And you know why it's the norm? It ain't got nothing to do with socioeconomic conditions. It ain't got nothing to do with the environment. It ain't got nothing to do with the culture. You know what it has everything to do with? You a bunch of sorry ass motherfuckers. That's all it has to do with.
Do you think it's fair for women to want traditional men that pay and take care of them when we're not traditional women? We're not virgins anymore.
If you want a traditional man, you have to be a traditional woman. Like, don't get mad when he expects you to be a stay-at-home mom, cook and clean and stuff like that. That's why I don't want a traditional man, because I know it comes with that price.
Did your mum do that stuff?
Yes.
To see, and it's been successful. Your parents are still together.
Who says they're successful just because they're together?
You don't think that's an indicator of success?
Yeah.
50% of marriages end in divorce. So the fact that your parents are still together and don't hate each other is a W. After how long have they been together?
Over 30 years.
And you don't think there's anything you could learn from that?
I am inspiring the youth of today, the masculine youth of today, to become men, and you think that's a negative thing. Why?
No,
Why?
I don't think you're inspiring them to become men, because like real men are in touch with their emotions and their vulnerability and don't need to be like wielding and taking power. Real men are self-aware.
That is not true in most places on the planet. In most places on the planet, men need to be capable and competent, because if they don't, they do not survive. And I'll tell you something now, sir. I'll tell you something else now. You will sit here and talk right now about the patriarchy and how you can be in touch with your feelings and all this bullshit. The second you're physically assaulted or physically threatened, the first thing you do is you call a toxically masculine police officer to turn up with a weapon to protect you, because you cannot protect yourself. You are not against the idea of masculine power. You're not against the idea of men who have masculine imperatives to defense. All you've done is outsource it to someone else to do at the end of a phone call because you're too scared to do it yourself.
If when you're in a relationship, what are some of the techniques that you'll use to like nag the guy so we can look out for those as men?
I don't know, just lower his self-esteem, I guess, calling him names or something.
Because those are some of the things you've done with him in the past?
Yeah, I guess.
What are some of the mean things that you've said to your boyfriend, even though he's doing his best?
If they have like a dream or something, you know, like try to insult that to kind of like get them down, I guess.
Just tell him like you're nobody, your rap career is not going to work out. What's the ultimate goal? Just to keep him in like a constant state of like depression?
I guess kind of like make them doubt themselves about like who they are as a person and like their own personalities and stuff like that, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's great. We'll watch out for that.
Toxic feminism is inequality. It is hatred. They want you to be the kind of man, when you walk down the street and a woman's walking, she looks up and you look down with shame because you're submissive, docile, and weak.
Facts.
I refuse to fucking look down when I'm walking down the street with a woman that thinks she's better than me and I'm weak. I refuse, because if you do that once, you'll do it over and over, and you're showing her that you're inferior. And you take that into your business life. You know, they don't respect you when they do that. It's almost like look down. I'm not looking down. I'm gonna look up. I don't give a fuck.